Yeah, we have submitted only 1 week in September, and not at a good point. September is 9% below normal right now. Okay, after the 30% below normal in August. Okay, sorry, September is minus 32. I'm sorry. Cumulative minus 11, which is a drought condition. But first week of September is minus 32%. So unless there is a rapid recovery in the next few weeks, September not be normal. Okay? So that is what the indication is. Let's see what happens. Now let's compare how good the August forecast was. I would say it's quite good. This is a probabilistic forecast of IMD. There's the actual on the right, on the left. And you can see by and large the pattern is correct. They predicted low rainfall here, and that's correct. They predicted more than normal. They are more or less except for the small regions. And I would say that they got the spatial pattern correct. But what it did is they didn't get it right because the 33% below normal, they said 10%. So that they got it wrong, but the pattern was right. Now, I wanted to, this is what normally is shown in IMD. And so, you look at the cumulative, you can see that there are 12 divisions of below normal. That includes Karnataka, South Interior, Coastal, Kerala, Maharashtra, and so on. Okay. So if you look at this picture, it is quite bad because about 1/3 of the divisions are manufactured. But if you look according to the river basin, it's a more interesting issue today because of the Karnataka Tamil Nadu fight. Achieving the river basin, look at this region. Okay? This region got a cyclone in June, which was unexpected. So what you have to read it. Saurashtra division. The amount of rain it received is 6 times the normal. It's amazing. 6 times, not 1 or 2, 6 times. That's not surprising because rain was so low that now it will rain force and you get when you divide by a small quantity, you get a large number. So here, Rajasthan, 3 times, Saurashtra 6 times, and many other parts are about 2 times. For example, Chandigarh heavy rain, so many regions here are 2 times. So this part of India, but notice that this problem has been there in the Ganges Plain for the last many years now. Each Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, Jharkhand, and all have been below normal for many, many years. But the river basin point of view, they are okay. So it rains elsewhere and the water comes to your area. So they are surviving. Otherwise, the area like Bihar, if they have been below normal for 10 years, I was surprised how are they managing. That's because the river is coming from somewhere else, Nepal or from Uttarakhand, and they are managing. It of course border and so on. So this way, keep looking at it. This graph is there. It's worth looking at the graph. And from the point of view of the Karnataka Tamil Nadu dispute, what's interesting is the Pennar, this one is above normal. Okay, Kaveri is well below normal, 30% below normal. And so Karnataka is arguing in the court, they are getting a lot of rain, why should they eat water? So this dispute goes on. It's not easy. Dispute resolved. And if you look at the core monsoon zone, we are still, although there are a few blips here, there still is pretty much most of the time from August onwards. This I would say will be discussed a long time, like July 2002. This will be a month which will be discussed long time because it's so this break. There have been many breaks in August, but this is one of the most unusual one. Now, about the forecast, I would say forecast still good. What are the forecast from last week up to today, 6 September? Exact amount is not right, but they correctly got the revival of the monsoon. And if you believe them, it's good, they're going to increase. And further, I'll show you later on, they are predicting much higher rainfall in the next 2 weeks. Okay. Now, let's look at the El Nino. It's now 1.3 degrees Kelvin and increasing. Okay. So this is bad news because sometimes El Nino starts peaking in September and starts going down, then it can happen. This year it won't happen. There is no indication from the heat storage and all other parameters that El Nino will decline in the next few months. Okay. So we have to face the consequence of that. Now everybody is hoping for the IOD. There is some sign. It's spreading from last week. What I showed you, it has spread further, and I think this is partly driven by El Nino. And if it comes close to the equator, I think that you'll see something changing, but it's not clear the mechanism how quickly the atmosphere in the region reacts to this. I'm not sure paper on that. If anybody has looked at it, I would like to know. Now, I looked at what happened in 2019 September. So that was, all of you remember, was a very unusual September. Unfortunately, I didn't get the anomaly, but actual value. It's also interesting. Actual value shows pretty large cold ton here, of the order of 25 compared to surrounding, which is 30. So this was in 2019. How does it compare with this year? Same color bar. Yeah, it's only developing. So I would say there are chances that what's happening in Sumatra, and if it goes there may be some transition in the monsoon. Now, if you recall, I told you the reason why I'm still skeptical is that if you look at the correlation between OLR and NINO 3.4 for the last 50 years, 50 years, 7 years, there's a clear OLR is positive over India, a large region. Indonesia, these two are well correlated near 3.4. I think chances are that September rainfall will be below normal. But if IOD compensates slightly in the next 2-3 weeks, it may become normal. It won't be above normal, that's quite clear. Now, to remind you again, there's the annual rainfall anomaly in September compared to minus 3.4. I want you to focus on this region because you're already above 1. So from this statistic here for 4 plus 8 points, you can say that this year's rainfall will be 20 to 40% below normal in September. Okay, so that we'll watch whether that will happen or something else will happen and it will make up. But it will not be on this side definitely. So you can see that very nice result. There's a fairly sharp transition here. To as the demand increases, the probability of ground is much more. Now, this is the forecast for September from IMD. Okay, this is a special pattern, which I think will come out right because all of us already see that essentially Monsoon is withdrawn from Rajasthan, Gujarat, and it's still raining here and here, and the pattern looks okay. But they make a statement that September 2023 will be plus or minus 9% of the normal. Okay. Yeah, I have doubt, but yeah, if they're lucky, it may be just 9% below normal, then they're okay. That depends on IOD. I don't think anything else will save the September rainfall. Now, this is a forecast made by Suman Nigam, which I showed in the very first talk, and he's now already issued press releases saying I'm right. Okay, maybe true, but I'm not quite sure. Yes, I think this is definitely happening on Kerala and parts of Karnataka. But this part I'm not so sure because a lot of rainfall occurred in the region in August as well as September. So this part may be wrong, this part may be right. Okay? But I think the reason why he's celebrating is that compared to IMD, his pattern looks more realistic. Now, the interesting paper I saw published last year based on this new network method, which I don't understand, but a lot of people are working on it now. Maybe you have to look it up. So the point I'm making is teleconnection, 4 region are far fewer compared to 3. Okay? Even like this year, 3.4 is extremely warm. The teleconnection coming from 3. So that's a very interesting point. You really, when I look at it very carefully, that explanation that although the temperatures are more anomalous in Central Pacific, the impacts of the anomalies are nevertheless mediated by East Pacific. Very interesting point. So I think somebody should look at it in detail and see whether one can get any new information from that. Okay. Now let's look at the situation in the next 10 days. According to GFS, it looks very good. Okay. They are saying from essentially tomorrow, they will not take 1 or 2 millimeters over normal with 1 or 2 days approaching 11. So if this happens, it will completely make up for the first 1 week of negative rainfall. So by up to 15, it may become normal for September, but the next 15 days is the critical issue. The monsoon withdraws early. then I think it will start going down. So we'll see that. So if this forecast is right, still September may be below normal if the last 15 days is below normal. Okay, now I've not talked about MGO this year, especially in August, because MGO was well below normal, amplitude wise. Okay, there's one time series here, and I think Ajit asked me what see MGO, there are many ways of calculating MGO, so there is no one way. But as far as I know, all the MGO metrics, all of them tend to show it is below one mostly. Okay, the reason I'm saying this, I heard somebody mention that the August drought was due to MGO. I don't think there's any basis for it. Absolutely, I don't see any basis because the MGO is weak. I do not see how it can influence the monsoon. Okay. So they're saying no, it's not 3.4, it is the MGO. But what's happening right now, I'll show you, MGO is getting stronger at the end of August. Okay. So most of the time, MGO was hanging around below 1. So I doubt that you have any big influence. And hanging around in regions where its impact is not as much as here. But the last 1 week, I see a sudden increase here. The right location. So if you look at ESMW portal, I'll show you that. Their model seems to indicate that this MGO is what is triggering this rainfall pattern, which is now going northwards. Okay. So MGO at last woken up and seems to have some impact on our monsoon. Now I'll go back to what paper we published almost 70 years ago, where C.R.B. Ram, well-known scientist, and he claimed that West Pacific typhoons located between 100 and 140 knots and above 30 knots. Because of that, they access the trough over India moved to the foothills. Okay, this is just speculation. Man, I'm not criticizing them. This was done 70 years ago. There's no data really. Like our great Walker made lots of inspired guesses. Okay? This is one of them. But I think there is no evidence to show that it is a typhoon which is causing the drought over India. Not here. Okay? But I'll show you there are indications. There's a strong connection, but the exact mechanism is still not clear. Okay. Now I also saw a very interesting paper by Rajivan and Mahapatra in Mouse. Many of you may not be able, now you can download it. So they show that in July 2002, which is my favorite month for extreme event, they have shown that the correlation between the number of tropical cyclone days, okay, in the month of July, in this region, not what C.R.B. Raman pointed out, between 515 and 175, with Indian northern rainfall is very high correlation, especially in the last 50 years. So they claim that high correlation. Of course, correlation, remember, don't confuse correlation with costs. They are not. They are not. It's true they are connected. Which way the connection is where you need to look at new ways of looking like Granger, casualty, and so on to look at which way it is moving. But they are connected. Okay. Now I looked at the overall anomaly for the month of August. Okay, and really a large anomaly over Pacific Ocean, close to the East Asian coast, and of course the India. And the only thing we can connect is large positive anomaly. It was negative anomaly over the typhoon. This is where the typhoons were active. Okay? So obviously they are linked because if you have positive over anomaly, we all assume that due to some sinking motion and less cloud. Okay? But for that to happen, something has to come from somewhere else to sink. And the only reason I can see that I draw the whole figure because it will get confusing. Because instead of the entire topic, there is no hint of any other region where there's a lot of ascent, except this. So there's clearly a connection. But my point would be that the maximum link of this typhoon is to this region, because these anomalies are much more real than this. This one may be a secondary impact of the kind Arindam is talking about. The fact that this could have changed the amount of moisture going out of India because of this, and that could, so this could be linked to this, but not directly to that. That's possible, and I think that requires further examination. Now, let's look at the circulation pattern, 850 millibar anomaly in the month of August. I think it's very interesting. You see a clear typhoon-induced washing anomaly here. Okay, but notice that this anomaly directly leads to someone is actually, okay? And here the jet is very weak. Here the jet is strength that very weak. So this is the unique feature of this year's August circulation anomaly, that the jet did not weaken everywhere. The jet weakened only in southern India. Okay? And in northern India it is strengthened. Okay? And that is weak all the way, all the regions. So there is a connection, but unless somebody doesn't experiment, yes.
So this is anomaly, right?
Huh?
Wind is anomaly, right?
Anomaly, yeah.
So this is the classic dry glaciation structure where you have this kind of anticyclonic anomaly over India, and in the typhoon region in South China Sea, the other way around. This is the classic dry phase of.
At what level?
This is the classic dry phase of NGO or glaciation. So what is
okay.
Yeah, where you have this anticyclonic anomaly over India and the cyclonic anomaly over the typhoon.
No. At what level? Lower level, upper level? This is lower level.
Lower level.
Okay, lower level. Okay, I will see that. So my point is the uniqueness of this figure is the anomalies are living at the level of 25 now. So this is what I'm looking at, because I've not seen it before. Before now, what happens is when Indian monsoon is weak, the entire jet is weak. Okay? Here, that is stronger here and weaker. That is a very unusual pattern, which I think is connected to the typhoon definitely. Okay, now I also looked at a higher level anomaly. There I see no pattern. At higher level, there are some gross peak patterns at high latitudes. But right over India, very interesting, I don't understand this. Right over India, in spite of having a drought in which the rainfall was 35% of normal, the jet has not weakened, which is counterintuitive. The tropical AC jet being linked directly to the heating over India, not true. So this jet did not weaken. I don't know why. I'm still a bit puzzled, because this is plus or minus 2.5 meters per second. So it is not even changed more than that. Okay. So that is a bit puzzling. How can we get drought? Normally people say jet strengthened during a year and weakened. Normally it's true. But this year, either the data is not good. I looked up the Anthem website. Somebody can try here and tell me next week whether this is right or wrong. Okay. So this is a very interesting issue. Now, the funny part is September has come, the typhoon is still going strong. There's a typhoon over Taiwan, just crossed it to China. I mean, so the point is that if the typhoon was so important in August, how come in September it has not played an important role yet? There is some role, of course, September is below normal, but the systems are developing. So quite clearly, the impact of typhoon in August and July is not same as in September. So that is another issue that needs to be looked at. Another point I like to very much this typhoon going like this in a loop, and you won't believe it. Almost all forecasting centers got it right. I'm always impressed when that second does something like that and you are able to follow it. But I can tell you nobody can explain it. This is the new phenomenon all live in. The machine does a wonderful job. We human beings can understand it. Okay, this is going on. But I remember in this hall when the team gave a talk on one of these cyclones which had a huge shape, which is forecast got it right. So I happily asked him, what is the reason? He said, I don't know. It's very complicated. Not that he's a very good academic. He spent a lot of time. He said there are lots of complicated factors playing a role. Why it starts changing? I can't pinpoint one clear-cut cause. So this is the challenge we have to live with in this field. That more and more computers will get the answer right, but will not know why it is right. And that's a very tough ethical problem. How do you trust your AI, ML, other things, which are getting most of things right, but you don't know why it is right? Because tomorrow it can go wrong and you're in deep trouble. Okay. This is a challenge, very big challenge for all of us. Okay, now let me show you the forecast of ECMWF. It's quite nice. Unfortunately, the way they plotted is pretty strange. It is not the normal coordinate system. India is here. So this is what happened? The date here, yeah, this is 4th to 11th September, and they're saying 4 here. It's coming out soon. They still have the Hyderabad rain, I think close 100 millimeters. So this prediction is correct, and see how it all the way to China. It's an interesting detail, which is worth looking at. How it's not a local, it's connected in a long way. Now let's go next week. It goes to the intergalactic plane, good news for them. And again, it linked all the way across. Let's see whether this comes out true, this kind of shift. Okay. That is 11 to 18. Okay. And then 18 to 12, we are coming into September. Now, this is the problem. It pretty much indicates that after both the winds except northeast, monsoon is pretty much gone. Okay. So that is the issue now. If the last week of September monsoon withdraw, then it will be below normal. But at least next 2 weeks, according to EWM. But I can tell you, it is not consistent with GFS. I'll show you that. Yeah, there's a comparison. The second week is based on 3rd September, that is 3 days back. And the second week will be 11th to 18th September. And see the difference between ANSWER and EWM. ANSWER says, interestingly, the rainfall will rainfall will decrease. ANSWER. I'm sorry. Ola, not that. So, yeah, because rainfall was too noisy, so I didn't sure. I'm sure rainfall. So rainfall, why it says Ola is decreasing, Ola decreasing. So in the period 10th to 17th September, the two don't agree. And now most interesting, look at what's happening here. I can't believe there's a large disagreement or a large spatial scale between two models in the second week of broadcast. So that's very puzzling because one would have thought that's very big broadcast, at least initial relation would have played some role. So what it shows is that the role of cumulus schemes and other factors which different the two models has played a big role here. So again, we'll watch who is right and I'll try to show you the actual result from OLR in the next 2 weeks. Yeah, I think I'll close here because we'll continue to debate what will be the number here. I still stand by 120 millimeters per year. Let us see what happens. Okay. So any questions? Let me just do the more slides are there. Yeah, I just want to show you Bangalore. So Bangalore, this is the climatological rainfall. This is last year. Last year was crazy. You know that the autumn record twice the normal. And even today, I have no explanation why it is twice the normal. Okay. But look at this year. It was quite okay. Then in August, we had a very low rainfall, no rain, but it's cumulative. Then also, remember last week there was a 1 day of rainfall, it jumped. So we have to see next few weeks what happens. Whether it will go along this line or will go along that line. Now, this is the comparison between July and August combined satellite and rain gauge data. Very interesting. In July, the rainfall over Bay of Bengal was not very high, because the jet was strong also. But in August, same color bar, in August, it never went beyond 450 or so. Okay. So the big difference between these two, that needs understood. What role Bay of Bengal river played in the break over India? There's something, some indication there. Okay. This is from IMD. IMD puts up this data, very nice data. And this is now I'm covering a few more places. Of course, the same thing, Bangalore urban. I think I repeated it. Now let's show you the in Karnataka. Look at July Karnataka. North Karnataka had above normal rainfall. Most normal, only our region was normal. But in July, in August, look at the entire Karnataka was finished. Severe, more than 20%. And entire Karnataka went below normal.
So previous slide.
Huh?
Previous
slide, yeah. Yeah, the repeat slide, not same slide. It's
different.
Huh?
It's different. Yes. They're going till 30.
Yeah, there's a no, both are of second step, but doesn't matter. Very similar. Primary says, is it correct? What is another one? Let me just check. Did I make a mistake? Sorry, sorry, I want to show that. I want to compare between Tumkur and Bangalore. They're nearby, not more 80 kilometers. Tumkur is close to normal, but Bangalore is not. Good, you reminded me. Bangalore is not. Okay, so just 80 kilometers difference, there are differences in rainfall patterns. This is, of course, this one. And this one is I want to compare with Kodagu because this year, Madikeri and so on got very low rainfall. It is surprising. It is 1,000 millimeters below normal. 1,000 millimeters below normal. Okay, very serious problems, and that's why Kaveri problem is coming up. So all the catchment area of Kaveri is in Madikeri, Kodagu area, what got called by the British. So, but look at Uttara Kannada, no problem. So Kannada gets up, there are two parts, the north and south. Okay, I'll stop here. I want to just tell you that I was a student who used to give a talk on Monsoon Cafe for many years. Published a nice paper in QGRMS in July 2023, comparing the offshore rainfall over Western Ghats and onshore. He had presented this talk a little bit last 2 years, 3 years back, but it's a nice paper. I want to recommend all of you look at it. Okay. Yeah, I'll stop here. Any questions?
Rainfall that forecast, right? September rainfall forecast.
Yeah.
Doesn't look like a winter because South India should have been higher than normal rainfall for winter, but the entire system is to the eastern side.
Yeah.
So it's not it looks like the system is not really an outconverting ICC that is stops only up to the southern India for the normal intervals and monsoon.
Yeah.
Software. That's completely different system.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so next week I think the answer, right? Huh? Okay, fine. Thank you.